Hello everyone, very warm welcome once again to StudyIQ IAS English, your favorite channel, and I am your educator Praveen Mishra. So we are going to proceed with the second session or the second class of our mapping. So in our last session, we discussed about South America, okay, the basic features of South America, and here we are into the second session, that is the lakes and mountains of our continent, not our actually, but yes, continent of our planet, that is South America, right? So today what we are going to discuss is the important lakes and mountains of the continent. So here what we have discussed in the previous class, that is, actually 14 countries, 14 different locations, but we talk about sovereign states, so it will be calculated as 12. Right, so we have got the Falkland Island here, okay, but it is not part of any of the country of South America. It is still governed by the United Kingdom, and apart from that, we have got the French Guiana here, which is still part of the French country or the country of France, right? So in total, yes, we have got 14 distinct locations, but out of them only 12 are sovereign, right? So we have discussed about, Guyana, Suriname, Venezuela, Colombia. We discussed about Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Brazil, right? Now, today here in this session, let's talk about firstly the mountains of our South America. Okay, so what are the topography, what are the features, what are the types of mountains we have? So obviously the first thing that we need to revise here, in the previous session also we had this discussion, because without this you cannot read or you cannot study about South America. So what it is, the Andes Mountains. So the most wonderful feature, as you can see, from north to south, it is covering the western coast of South America from north to south. Remember, guys, we talk about the Andes Mountains. So it is not towards the east, it is towards the west, as you can see, touching 7 different countries of South America. So from north to south, what are these 7 countries? So starting from Venezuela, touching Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and then finally to Argentina. So this is what we have discussed. But now see the next point here. It is, running through 7,000 kilometers of the distance, right? The most wonderful thing here, 7,000 kilometers of the distance is being covered by these Andes Mountains, which makes it the longest continental mountain range in the whole world, right? So if there is a question which is the highest continental mountain range in the world, so it is what? It is the Andes Mountains only. And how they are formed? Obviously, you know it very well that if there is any mountain, so mountain can be only formed through the convergence of 2 different plates, right? And here we have got the 2 different plates that got converged. So what are they? So it is firstly the Nazca plate, which got subducted under the South American plate, right? So it is what? The result of the convergent boundary of the Nazca plate that got subdued under which one? That got subdued under the South American plate. So 7,000 kilometers of the continental mountain, which makes it the longest continental mountain. Okay, and apart from that, Nazca plate as well as the South American plate. So these are the 2 things you need to remember. And finally, talk about the topography, right? So it is rich in volcanoes, deep valleys, as well as high plateaus of this globe, right? So as you can see, from north to south, starting from Venezuela, going ahead with Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, okay, touching the areas of Argentina and Chile. This is where the concept of these Andes Mountains, they do comes in, right? So guys, remember, starting from Venezuela, right, touching Colombia, then touching what? Peru, then touching what? Bolivia, then Chile, then Argentina, right? So this is where how the Andes Mountains, they are going ahead, and that is where 7,000 kilometers they are touching. Okay, so as you can see, Venezuela, once again, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and then finally to the southernmost areas, okay, that is Argentina. So this is the Andes Mountains, and we have discussed this in the previous session as well. Now, the notable sub features or the sub regions, notable ones obviously. So as we can see, first thing is here, Altiplano Plateau. Altiplano Plateau, the striking feature here is it is the second highest plateau after the Tibetan Plateau. So the highest plateau of this globe, it is what? The Tibetan Plateau. And second highest is what? This one, that is known as Altplano or Altiplano Plateau. Right? So where it is? Exactly two countries. It is Bolivia as well as Peru. What is the name? Once again, Altiplano Plateau. What is the concept? Second highest, not the first highest, second highest plateau of this globe. Right? Apart from that, we have got the Patagonian Andes here as well. And finally, we have got the Cordillera Occidental and Cordillera Oriental, that is the sub-ranges in various countries. So here, what you can see on your screen, it is Bolivia and Peru. And the second highest plateau known as the Altiplano Plateau. But the next thing we have also got here, that is known as Patagonian Andes. So where is this Patagonian Andes? So this location, as you can see, okay, so this is what the southernmost point of Argentina as well as Chile. This is known as the Patagonian Desert or the Patagonian Andes as well. So which country? So it is Bolivia as well as Peru. So let's understand the difference. When I talk about the second highest plateau, that is known as Altiplano Plateau. So it is between Peru and Bolivia. Now I have to move towards more south. Right? So when I'm moving towards more south, what I'm getting is the Patagonian Desert. Okay, now this is a country that will be common, that will be Bolivia. Right? So Bolivia will be common, but this time it will be not Peru. This time it will be the Chile. Okay, oh sorry, my bad. Bolivia and Peru, it will be the Altiplano Plateau. Okay, but we talk about the Patagonian Desert, so it will be Argentina and Chile moving towards more south. Okay, now the next thing, not very much discussed thing, but very, very important thing. What is this? Cordillera Occidental and Cordillera Oriental. Okay, what are the differences between the two? Now, when we talk about these two, so Cordillera Occidental, it is the westernmost point, whereas the Cordillera Oriental, okay, it will be the easternmost point in the very same region. Okay, technically into the Andes only, we have got the Cordillera, okay, Cordillera Occidental, and then we have got the Cordillera Oriental. Though we have got one more, that is known as Cordillera Central. Okay, but the most important ones, they are Cordillera Occidental and Cordillera Oriental. So let's see the locations. Okay, so as we can see here, this one, Cordillera Occidental. Okay, it is towards more of the west, right? That is touching more of the Pacific. But we have got the Cordillera Oriental, it is towards the east. So what type of question you might expect? That Cordillera Occidental is near to the Pacific or Cordillera Oriental is near to the Pacific? Okay, or simply speaking, which among the following lies close to the Pacific Ring of Fire or towards the Pacific? Simply, not Pacific Ring of Fire, simply the Pacific. So it will be Cordillera Occidental, not Cordillera Oriental. Cordillera Oriental is towards inner side, that is towards the east, whereas Cordillera Occidental is towards the west, right? And we have got the Cordillera Central as well. As you can see, it is touching exactly the locations of Chile. Right? Exactly touching the locations of Chile. So guys, remember once again what you can see here. Okay, the facts, the notable sub-regions. What are they? Altiplano Plateau, second highest plateau of this globe after Tibetan Plateau, obviously. Then we have got the Patagonian Andes. Okay, here we have got, okay, to discuss this one, that is the Patagonian Andes, that is Chile and Argentina. And then we have got the Cordillera Occidental and we have got the Cordillera Oriental. Okay, so Cordillera Occidental is towards the west, Cordillera Oriental is towards the east, right? Now, next thing, the notable peaks. What are the highest peaks and the most important peaks we have? Okay, so the first one we have got Aconcagua. Okay, Aconcagua, this is what? The highest peak of South America. Okay, what is Aconcagua? The highest peak of South America, right? So as you can see, 6,961 meters, and many of the maps they have recommended it as 6,962 meters as well. Okay, so exactly if you want to quote, you can quote 6,962 meters basically. This is what is the highest peak in South America. Falls in which country? Falls in Argentina. So as we can see here, we have got Argentina, Mount Aconcagua. Okay, it is part of the Andes and following in which country? Following in Argentina, right? So next, second highest peak. So it is in Peru, Huascaran. Okay, so in the local language it is pronounced in a very different manner, but what we can pronounce here is Huascaran. That is where? Peru. As you can see, 6,768 meters. Right. So where it is? It is in the country that is known as Peru. And then we have got Chimborazo. Now, Chimborazo, the most notable feature of Chimborazo, first of all, it is in the country that is known as Ecuador. Right. And now you can see the striking feature, the highlight here. What is this? Its summit is the farthest point from Earth's center due to equatorial bulge. So when we talk about that which particular summit is farthest, okay, which particular summit is farthest from the center, that is from the equator, so it will be what? It will be Chimborazo. And where it is? It is in the country that is known as Peru, right? Now, we have got Ojos del Salado. What is this Ojos del Salado? Okay, first of all, once again, a mountain, but which country? So a part of it falls in Chile and other part of it falls in Argentina. And now the notable point here is highest active volcano in the world. So we have got the volcano types, right? Active, dormant, dead, right? So this is the active volcano, first of all, and it is highest altitude wise, right? So here we go, Ojos del Cerrado. So Ojos del Cerrado, where it is, okay, Salado, where it is, part of it falls in Chile, whereas part of it falls in Argentina as well. And what is the actual summit we talk about? So 6,893 meters as well, right? Okay, so this is where the notable peaks they do come in. We have got some other portions as well, like Osborne, Puget, Cathedral, okay, Belleville, Julian Top, Roraima, but they are not that prominent. The most prominent ones, they are here, okay, as you can see, the four ones, okay, Aconcagua, we have got the Huascaran, we have got the Chimborazo, and we have got the Ojos del Salado. So these are what? The most important, or the most, the notable peaks or the mountains or the summits of South America, right? Now, the importance of these particular areas. So when we say the water source, okay, this whole particular location of the mountains, okay, the water source. So glacial melt feeds Amazon and other major rivers. Volcanic activity, if you say, it falls into the Pacific Ring of Fire. So it will be homework for you guys. Where do you find the Pacific Ring of Fire exactly? So I'm sure you are sitting with your 8 list. You are opening your this page where you are finding the South American continent, okay, or the Latin American continent as well, okay. And there you just need to find out how many countries they do surround near this Pacific Ring of Fire. So what is your homework? Just note down the homework, okay. How many countries around Pacific Ring of Fire? First and foremost, you tell me into the comment section after you have watched the video. What do you mean by the term Pacific Ring of Fire? Okay, what do you understand by the term Pacific Ring of Fire? And then just open up your 8 lists. You can take the help of Google, or even now you have got the AI with you, and just look around that how many countries they do fall around this Pacific Ring of Fire. Okay, so let's go. Now, as you can see here, after this Pacific Ring of Fire, the mineral resources, world's largest deposits of copper, lithium, and silver. So South America is rich. Rich in what? Copper, lithium, and silver. So these three prominent elements are found where? In South America. Apart from that, we talk about the Atacama Desert, a name which you often see in your newspapers, in your current affairs, basically. Okay, so climatic influence, Andes, they act as a barrier causing rain shadow effects, and because of which we have got this Atacama Desert. So this is what the Andes, right? So this Andes, they do create a rain shadow effect that you have read in your geography. And because of that rain shadow effect, what we have got? We have got the Atacama Desert. Okay. Now let me know into the comment section exactly which countries, okay, this Atacama Desert is touching. Now let's talk about the next wonderful thing, that is the lakes or the major lakes of South America. So the first one we have got Lake Titicaca. Okay, the first one, Lake Titicaca. So as you can see the location, okay, so it is exactly on the borderline of Peru and Bolivia into the Andes once again. Okay, so Lake Titicaca, where borders of Peru and Bolivia. Now, see the striking feature. It is the world's highest navigable lake. Navigable lake as in the ships can pass through it quite easily. Though the ships, they need to pass through only through the oceans and seas. But here, Lake Titicaca being the lake on a very high altitude, so it becomes a particular lake which is navigable in nature. So right, what we have got, world's highest navigable lake. Okay, elevation is 3,812 meters, right? And apart from that, it is of tectonic origin, formed due to what? Due to faulting, right? So in your geography, you will encounter these terms. What is faulting? Okay, and because of this faulting only, type of a plate tectonic movement. Okay, and because of this faulting thing, we have got this location. We have got this river that is known as Lake Titicaca. And what is the striking feature of this Lake Titicaca? It is the world's highest navigable lake. Okay, as in the ships, the ocean ships. Okay, that is what the water ships, they can pass through it as well. Okay, and now the importance. Central to the Inca mythology as well as the Quechua Aymara culture. So there are some tribes, those who follow the Inca mythology as well as a culture that is known as Quechua Aymara culture. So Lake Titicaca, it is home to this particular mythology as well as the Aymara or the Quechua Aymara culture. Okay, so remember, Lake Titicaca, a very wonderful thing. Supports what? High altitude agriculture, specifically potato. And these days if we are very much fitness freaks, so we have got quinoa salad with us, right? You might have heard about the quinoa salad, or quinoa salad, people call it as well. So this potato and quinoa or kuana or whatsoever the pronunciation is, okay, it is being harvested there. Now, it is home to the Titicaca water frog. The name itself is clear. Apart from that, floating reed islands. Okay, and a very famous tribe is habitated here that is known as Uros tribe. Okay, so Titicaca water frog as well as the reef islands, the floating reef islands. Okay, and habitated by a very famous tribe known as what? The Uros tribe. Right. Next, Lake Maracaibo. Okay, so next what we have got? The Lake Marai or the Maracaibo. What is the location? Exactly in just one country, that is known as Venezuela, the northwestern part of Venezuela. So as you can see, here we have got Gulf of Venezuela and we have got the Lake Maracaibo. Okay, exactly northwestern part of Venezuela, simply Venezuela. Okay, which particular bay is nearest to it? So it is the, not bay, Gulf. Okay, which particular Gulf is very near to it? So it is the Gulf of Venezuela. Okay, so Gulf of Venezuela. Going ahead, Lake Maracaibo. Okay, so technically a tidal bay connected to the Caribbean Sea. Okay, so technically it is a tidal bay connected to the Caribbean Sea, as you can see. Okay, Gulf of Venezuela, okay, Lake Maracaibo, and connected through the Caribbean Sea. But it is still known as a lake due to the historic isolation, as in no one touched it for centuries and centuries, millenniums and millenniums. Right, okay. So simply speaking, Lake Maracaibo connected through the Gulf of Venezuela. It is itself a bay, a tidal bay, but still it is termed as Lake Maracaibo. Okay, no ships, no water vehicle. Okay, they do have passed through it for centuries and centuries, and hence it is termed as Lake Maracaibo only. And apart from that, connected through the Gulf of Venezuela, and then finally connecting through the Caribbean Sea. Okay, now the importance. One of the oldest surviving lakes in the world. 36 million years old, as you can see. One of the oldest surviving, okay, Lake Maracaibo. And major oil producer, okay, the major oil producing region it has historically produced over 60% of the Venezuela's oil. So you can understand how much important this Lake Maracaibo is for our examination as well as for this country known as Venezuela. So major oil producing region, okay, historically has got a record of producing 60% of Venezuela's oil alone, right? And it is also site to Catatumbo lightning. If you just, okay, go through Google and search for this Catatumbo lightning, you will find some, breathtaking scenarios. And this is what the most important feature here is. Out of 365 days a year, roughly 260 days, this particular location faces lightning. So if there is a question that which location on planet has got the highest lightning effect, okay, so it is what known as Catatumbo lightning, where obviously Lake Maracaibo. And where is this Lake Maracaibo? Venezuela. Okay, so guys, remember importance: 36 million years old, highest surviving lake of this planet. Okay, and apart from that, site to Catatumbo lightning, that is out of 365 days, more than 260 days, this particular location faces lightning, highest on this planet, right? Now, Lake Poopó. Lake Poopó, as you can see, once again, this particular location, Bolivia. And we have got the highest salt plates here, the highest salt flat here, that is known as Uyuni salt flat, right? So highest salt flat on this planet, it is known as the Uyuni salt flat, and it falls near which location? Lake Poopó. Okay, so location Bolivia, that is exactly south of Lake Titicaca. Okay, Andhoric lake, totally saline in nature, and because of which we have got Uyuni salt flat here. And current status, if you talk about, it is almost dried up since 2015, you can say, due to adverse climate impact, drought, and irrigation diversion from Rio areas. Okay, so this is what has happened to the lake. It has totally dried, as you can see. So this is the satellite image to the lake. As you can see, totally dried. And this is what actually this lake looks about. Okay, that is known as Lake Poopó, totally dried up. Now, the next, Lake Buenos Aires. Okay, so here we have got Buenos Aires. This is also the capital city. Okay, so location shared by Chile as well as Argentina. Okay, called General Carrera in Chile, General Carrera Lake in Chile, and Buenos Aires in Argentina. Okay, as you can see, the area 1,850 square kilometer, second largest lake in South America, right? If second largest lake is Carrera or Buenos Aires, then which one is the first largest lake? Once again, mark this thing as well, right? And it is what? Of the glacial origin, right? So this is Lake Buenos Aires. And what is the importance? Known for the marble caves. Okay, it is known for its marble caves, freshwater source, okay, in the semi-arid region, as you can see, the semi-arid region, but still the source to fresh water, right? So a very, very important location it is. So if you are visiting Argentina, if you want to visit Buenos Aires or the Lake Carrera, then remember, the marble caves are waiting for you. Okay, guys, so this is it with regard to the mountains and lakes, important mountains and lakes of our South America. Remember, guys, a revolution we have unfolded in the name of resolution. So the P2I batch, if you are an aspirant targeting 2026, 27, or even 28, You're not sure what language you want to have, Hindi plus English, that is English, purely Hindi, purely English. StudyIQ has got you covered in each and every parameter, right? Just remember, prelims to mains to interview, just one name that outshines always, that is a StudyIQ, right? What will you get if you are going ahead with the resolution subscription? 1000 plus hours of live classes, access to recorded lectures taught by the greatest educators of this planet with regard to the UPSC CSE. Now, I'm not bragging it. Now, I'm not exaggerating the facts. The greatest educators means the greatest educators. For polity, for history, for geography, for economy, for science and technology, if you just go ahead with the names, we have got Prashant Tiwari sir, Bhuvan Jha sir, we have got Shashank Tyagi sir, Prashant Tiwari sir, right? We have got Arvind sir, we have got Shubham Sagar sir, we have got Ankit sir. Okay, we have got those particular personalities, those who have gained some wonderful level, quintessential level of experience and wisdom in their particular dimensions, in their particular fields. So you will have the opportunity to get education, to get knowledge, to get information, to get learned from those greatest personalities ever when it comes to the educators of UPSC CSE in our nation, right? So don't let this opportunity flow away from your hands, right? So because what is the concept? The resolution batch, it is going to commence. The admissions, they are also closing on 15th of July. So guys, quickly go ahead and take the subscription at the earliest possible time. What will you get further apart from this? Will you get the test series? Obviously you do. 75 plus tests for prelims. Do I get the mains test series as well? Yes, I do get it. 15 plus mains tests. Do I get the interview guidance program as well? Yes, I do get the interview guidance program as well in this one just subscription, right? So prelims test series, mains test series, interview guidance program, all under one subscription. Apart from that, do I get the class notes? Do I get the printed reading material as well? Why not? Yes, you do get it as well, right? So around 18 sets of printed books will be given to you at your doorstep. You need not go anywhere to collect it. Okay, just send us the address. We will courier it to you to your address. That's it. Okay, and apart from that, the notes that is used by the teacher in his or her classroom to teach you, the very same notes in the PDF format at the end of the class will be shared with you immediately at the end of the class, right? Now, what else are we expecting? So live classes, notes, books, mentorship, 1:1 mentorship, and then the most beautiful thing here comes the MRP. No, it's not about the maximum retail price. It is mains residential program. Once you have qualified your prelims, your mains will be totally on us. As in, you'll be called to Delhi, whether you are the resident of Delhi or somewhere outside. Okay, we'll provide you accommodation that will be totally on us inside the hub of civil services, that is Rajendra Nagar. And then you will be given offline classes from the very same great educators and mentors, right? So that will be totally on us, those 90 days of your mains. Okay, so that will be the time period that you need the most number of guidance, the highest quantity and quality of the guidance, and that will be given to you by us, right? So guys, remember, what do we get? The mains residential program. Absolutely nothing you have to pay for it. Okay, it will be totally on us. And now let's talk about the subscription. So we have got the subscriptions like gold, platinum, and diamond. So our subscription plans are starting from rupees 9,999 only. But guys, remember, you will get this only when you have the promo code with you. And remember, you need to have a promo code that is named as PRV Live. Okay. So guys, just use this promo code. Do not forget to apply the promo code, because if you go ahead and don't apply this promo code, you won't get the proper discount, right? So in order to get the maximum discount, what you need is apply this promo code that is known as PRV Live. So once you apply this promo code, you will get some maximum discount on whatever subscription you are going ahead with, gold, platinum, diamond, whatever, right? So guys, quickly enroll yourself. Okay, 2026, 27, 28, StudyIQ and the great teachers of StudyIQ, they are all with you. Okay, everyone. So remember, the resolution batch, the closing date is what? 15th of July. On the very same date, the batch is also commencing. So quickly enroll and let nothing come between you and your success. And before you leave, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the StudyIQ IAS English channel. As you know, the channel is working day and night hard to provide you all the quantity and quality of the content needed. right? So hit the subscribe button, and in case you need to connect with me, we can connect on two distinct platforms. On Instagram, you can search me with the username Praveen Mishra _2107 and ping me here. Let me know whatever your doubts are, and I will be happy to help you. Apart from that, all my class links, class PDFs, and everything, it is shared on Telegram channel that is known as study_with_Praveen. So wherever you wish to connect, you can connect and let me know whatever your doubts are, and I shall be getting back to you at the earliest possible time. But before you leave, guys, remember, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and never miss an update from the channel. Bye bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.